This article was posted in the feminism subreddit. A South Korean politician is blaming women for male self deletions, and we need to get into it. And I guess this literally just happened. South Korean politician blames women for rising male self deletions. A politician in South Korea is being criticized for making dangerous and unsubstantiated comments after linking a rise in male self deletions to the increasingly dominant role of women in society. In a report, Seoul City Councilor Kim Ki-duk argued women's increased participation in the workforce over the years had made it harder for men to get jobs and to find women who wanted to marry them. He said the country had recently begun to change into a female dominant society, and this is South Korea, y'all, and that this might be partly responsible for an increase in male self deletion attempts. South Korea has one of the highest self deletion rates among the world's rich countries, but it also has one of the worst records on gender equality. Counselor Kim's comments have been criticized as the latest in a series of out of touch remarks made by male politicians. Counselor Kim from the Democratic Party arrived at his assessment when analyzing data on the number of self deletion attempts made at the bridges along Seoul's Han River. The report, published on the city council's official website, showed that the number of attempts along the river has risen from 430 in 2018 to 1,035 in 2023. And of those trying to take their lives, the proportion who were men had climbed from 67% to 77%. Self deletion prevention experts have expressed concern over Mr. Kim's report. It is dangerous and unwise to make claims like this without sufficient evidence, Song In Han, a mental health professor at Seoul's Yonsei University, told the BBC. He pointed out that globally, more men took their lives than women. In many countries, including the UK, self deletion is the biggest taker outer of men under 50. Even so, Professor Song said the reasons behind the sharp rise in men attempting self deletion in Seoul needed to be scientifically studied, adding it was very regrettable that the counselor made it about the gender conflict. In South Korea, there is a substantial gulf between the number of men and women in full time employment, with women disproportionately working temporary or part time jobs. The gender pay gap is slowly narrowing, but women still are paid on average 29% less than men. In recent years, an anti feminist movement has surged, led by disillusioned young men who argue they have been disadvantaged by attempts to improve women's lives. Appearing to echo views, uh, appearing to echo such views, Counselor Kim's report concluded that the way to overcome the female domination phenomenon was to improve people's awareness of gender equality so that men and women can enjoy equal opportunities. Koreans took to Twitter to denounce the counselor's remarks as unsubstantiated and misogynistic, with one user questioning whether they were living in a parallel universe. The Justice Party accused the counselor of easily shifting the blame to women in Korean society who are struggling to escape gender discrimination. It has called on him to retract his remarks and instead properly analyze the causes of the problem, which they won't do because these men want to continue to dominate women. And they feel that women attempting to not be oppressed makes it hard for men. They really feel like women should just take being oppressed. And it's, yeah, like someone said, a parallel universe. When approached for comment by the BBC, Counselor Kim said he had not intended to be critical of the female dominated society and was merely giving his personal view about some of its consequences. However, his comments follow a number of unscientific and sometimes bizarre political proposals aimed at tackling some of South Korea's most pressing social issues, including mental illness, gender violence, and the lowest birth rate in the world. Last month, another soul counselor in his 60s published a series of articles on the authorities' website encouraging young women, listen to the show, encouraging young women to take up gymnastics and practice pelvic floor exercises in order to raise the birth rate. They are so out of touch. At the same time, a government think tank recommended that girls start school earlier than boys so that classmates would be more attracted to each other by the time they were ready to marry. Such comments encapsulate just how pervasive misogyny is in South Korea, said Yuri Kim, director of the Korean Women's Trade Union. She accused politicians and policymakers of not even trying to understand challenges women face, preferring to scapegoat them instead. Blaming women for entering the workforce will only prolong the imbalances in our society, she told the BBC. Currently, women account for 20% of South Korea's number of parliament, and 29% of those are all local councillors. Seoul City Council told the BBC there was no process in place to vet what politicians published on its official website unless the content was illegal. It said individuals were solely responsible for their content and would face any consequences at the next election. Basically, these male politicians are going to help the birth rate get down to like zero point 0.5. Women's wombs, I heard them. It was contracting as I was reading this article. That's what I basically heard. 4B is about to be there for a long time. And I know some people are acting like 4B isn't a thing, but listen to what I just said. Y'all know that that was ridiculous. Some of the comments under the subreddit. Ligea says, as a woman in the mental health profession, I had no idea I wielded so much power over male self deletions. Puppy Cake was like, right, damn, I didn't know women are such powerful divine beings that we make men self delete simply by just existing and having the nerve to want to go to work to pay for food and such. I'm going to end it with this comment. She says, it's always women's fault. Male loneliness, low birth rates, crime, global warming, the fact that an asteroid hasn't put society out of its misery can't possibly be anything else going on that's causing these issues except for women just existing. It's the easy scapegoat to use women for problems, even when a sane person with one brain cell can see it's not women that's the issue. South Korea, like a lot of places, has a misogyny problem. And like a lot of places, their society is more focused on the needs, wants, and concerns of men over women, and they won't listen to women. So women's wombs are contracting. Women are like more hell bent on going to work. Women would rather go to work than be with these people for a reason. The other zebra says the absurdity of calling it a female dominated society when men hold most of the power, wealth, property, and top jobs. Facts like that are so easy to verify too. There's no excuse for these delusional claims. All right, ladies, go ahead and jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this was an Am I the A-hole thread from a couple of days ago from a woman. And y'all know what I say about these Am I the A-hole threads from women? They're simply looking for validation for feeling normal human emotions. She says, am I the a-hole for calling out my husband for not being a good Christian? She's 27, he's 34. She says, I've been married to my husband for 5 years, so since she was 22. My husband is a devout follower of his religion and has been ever since he was raised in it. I respect his beliefs, even though I don't share them and have no intention of converting. I was raised in the Christian faith. However, I left when I was adult due to SA in my church, which nobody believed occurred because the one who did it was the pastor. Recently, my husband has been pressuring me to convert to his religion. He says that it would bring us closer together and create a more harmonious household. I understand where he's coming from, but I firmly believe that faith is a personal journey and I shouldn't be forced into something I don't believe in. To add to the issue, my husband, despite his religious teaching, doesn't always practice what he preaches. He expects me to adhere to traditional gender roles, yet he often neglects his own responsibilities at home. He's quick to judge others for their actions, even though his faith teaches non judgment and kindness. He makes comments about gay people that I have discussed with him as a major issue. This hypocrisy has been bothering me for a while. Last night, during another discussion about my potential conversion, I finally snapped. I told him that if he wants me to consider converting, he needs to set a better example by actually living according to his religious values. I pointed out that he should start by fulfilling his own responsibilities, that he should make more money than me and actually lead in the decision making. I'm a nurse and he's currently unemployed after he was let go from a job in an office, that he should be less judgmental of others because according to his faith, only God can judge them. I also said he should show more of the virtues Jesus asked of Christians, that he should clothe the naked, feed the hungry, visit the prisoners, aid the orphan and the widow, etc. I also made it clear that while I respect his beliefs, I have no intention of converting unless I genuinely believe it, which I currently don't because of the hypocritical behavior of his faith. My husband was furious. He accused me of being disrespectful and undermining his faith. He said that I was attacking him personally and that I don't understand the pressure he's under to have a unified religious household. He left for church this morning at 7 for Bible study, and I have already gotten a phone call from the pastor saying I'm an ungodly woman who tricked a good man into marrying him, and I should repent. I have also gotten a a tirade of texts and emails from members of his church saying I was disrespectful and being a bad wife, and I'm starting to wonder if I was too harsh and maybe I shouldn't have said anything at all. Now, she's getting these text messages and emails, and I'm wondering, will she change her mindset because of these emails? Is this what's going to take for her to convert and be like, you know what? You're right. You're right. You guys have badgered me into being a Christian. I am now going to be a Christian. These people and their belief system and how they think that they can just wield a hammer to make people believe is amazing. Whereas if they actually live the principles that she was talking about and be a light, these people are not a light. They do not do a very good job. They do not do a good PR job of highlighting the awesomeness of their faith. What they show is all of the reasons why people should stay away. This post did genuinely make me chuckle because so many people run up on me, an agnostic woman that was also born and raised um, in the Christian faith as well. I have seen it and I stay away from it. But these folks feel like they are entitled to arguing you down on your beliefs. You might not even bring it up, but they want to bring it up and then like excoriate you for not believing like them. Anyways, let's get into some of the comments. Oh, and obviously, no, you're not the a-hole. Anyways, Wolf to Pug says, no, you definitely should have spoken up. I just wonder what story he told his church. My wife pointed out in completely biblically accurate ways how I wasn't being a good Christian man and husband. How dare she know more about my beliefs than I do? Especially as long as your husband stays in that church, I don't see a healthy future for your relationship. Catfax says she's pro gay. It's gotten really bad. Also, she just doesn't understand super special, unique reason I don't need to work. This is clearly the devil tempting me, not the a-hole OP. Even if you were a Christian, you'd worship God, not him. In his faith, he's allowed to get a divorce if his partner leaves him because she doesn't share his faith. There's a chance he's purposely antagonizing you, hoping you will leave. But if she leaves, he has no money because she's the one making the money. Do you have non tamperable birth control in the meantime? He doesn't have to know about it. Controlling men can get violent when they lose control. Be safe. And choose then live says, do you have non tamperable birth control? This is incredibly important. Do not let this man get you pregnant. A sleep operation says, get out now before they kidnap you and brainwash you. Friend of Gravity says, as a once irrational and controlling man, the last sentence is very true. He can become dangerous if he isn't already. He may not have acted out yet, but it becomes more likely the longer you stay. Natasha Quick says, this takes a lot of courage to say. I've never known a man being willing to change like this. Wow. Orphic Monophysis. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It says it does take a lot of bravery to admit, but there are plenty of older men who were misled when they were younger and grow and change. Still, all too rare to hear it admitted and talked about. Yes, this man, if the person who is making the money leaves, then yes, he could snap. But also, I believe that his delusion has been she broke his delusion. So even if she does stay, she might be in danger because she is not buying into his Delululand fantasy that he is the head of the household and all of that. Anyways, I want you guys to jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. As a mother that breastfed two kids, reading this Am I the A-hole post was rage inducing. She says, Am I the a-hole? And I'm just going to put it out there. Absolutely not. She should have done this sooner. Absolutely not. She says, Am I the a-hole for pinching my husband's nipple as hard as I could? She should have done them both. Okay, she says, my husband and I have a 9-month-old daughter. She's breastfed. She currently has 4 teeth coming in at once. She's been biting the absolute F out of me when nursing, at least 3 to 4 times a day. A few days ago, she made me bleed. My husband thinks it's hilarious, despite seeing me in absolute excruciating pain. When I get pissed off and stop a nursing session and walk off, he says things like, she's just a baby, using baby talk and following me with the baby, and says things like, oh no, is mama mad at poor baby? It's not poor baby's fault, is it, sweetie? Every single time I walk away. Usually it follows up with, oh, how can mama be mad at you? Who can be mad at that face? And for clarification, I'm not pissed at my daughter. She is a baby and she is teething, but he is a grown man who finds his wife's extreme pain to be hilarious. This has been going on for nearly a month. She cut 2 teeth prior to this, and the same thing happened. Every single time she bites me, he starts laughing, not just a chuckle, straight up knee slap laughing. I have told him so many times to stop laughing because whenever he does, she latches on harder. Now she thinks it's a game, and he keeps saying he will stop and that he's sorry, but it's just so funny. It's caused fights because there's literally nothing funny about me being in this much physical pain, and I think he's effed in the head to find it funny. And no, he isn't like this when it comes to anything else. He just really thinks that everything our daughter does is cute or funny. So this morning we are laying in bed. I co-sleep, bassinet that hooks to the bed. She bit me hard. Nothing I did stopped it. I pulled her face into my breast to get her to unlatch. Didn't work. I hooked my finger in her mouth to try to get her to unlatch. She bit down harder. I even flicked her cheek, obviously not that hard, hoping that it would startle her and make her let go. Nope. She starts smiling instead. Why? Because my husband is sitting in the bed, hyena laughing, while watching me struggle with tears in my eyes. She finally pulled back while still biting and pulled back enough to make her unlatch. It effing hurt, but he's still laughing. And I don't know what came over me, but I reached over and pinched a hold of his nipple as hard as I could, and squeezed it and refused to let go until he physically slapped my hand away. And then I said through gritted teeth, I effing told you to stop laughing when she effing does that. Do it again, and I'm going to rip your goddamn nipple off. He's now calling me an effing psycho and says that he can't trust being around me for his own safety. But apparently, I'm abusive. Y'all, the rage I felt because he is cracking up. And y'all know how, if you have babies, babies are doing things because they're like, oh, this is making them laugh. Let's do it more. and she's creating a bond with her daddy. He's doing something, I mean, she's doing something and he likes it. So she is going to continue to do it because daddy likes it. And this is creating some kind of game and is harming his wife. And he's just enjoying it. And I don't know if there's even any coming back from this, because if a person can sit up and watch you in agony and you say, I am in agony, please stop this behavior, and they continue, they do not, you are not safe around this person. This is not a safe space for this woman. And just imagine as this child gets older and dad is still training her to harm her mom. That is a terrible setup. And yeah, this is a breeding ground for sadistic behavior. I do not like this. This woman is not safe, and they're not going to cultivate a healthy daughter in doing this. This woman needs to get this child away from this man. Gip Guppy says, everyone has already pretty well explained everything I find infuriating about the laughing at your pain, conditioning her to bite, how much of an ask your husband is in general, etc. So I just wanted to make sure we can all also take stock of him following you with the baby, narrating what a mean and terrible mom you supposedly are, guilt tripping you, invalidating your pain, ridiculing you for taking the proper steps to gather yourself in a frustrating situation, and otherwise harassing you and trying to incite a negative response from you, while simultaneously criticizing and belittling you. Your husband is talking about you to a literal baby. What an effing weirdo. And one day she'll be old enough to actually comprehend the narrative he's spinning. All of that. Kiwi Geek Mom says, yes, this is completely disturbing. It's like he's actually trying to send her mental health over the edge. It's evil. Electric Boogaloo says, bullying and belittling mom in front of her child is unforgivable. The child is being taught to engage in the same behavior because she's being told it brings joy. And how he's hurting his child is by actively damaging the baby's relationship with her mom. What an absolute piece of rubbish he is being to his wife and his baby. Traditional Bar says, my dad did this with me and my siblings, taught us how hilarious it was to hate on each other. Look, LOL, she's so jealous. Ha ha, they're hitting each other. Sibling rivalry. The stronger the insult, the harder he laughed. Sorry for calling you potato butt at the dinner table, Amy. You cried for weeks, and I probably caused you an eating disorder, but mom and dad thought I was hilarious. Just think about the relationships that you ruin by doing this type of thing, by training a child to be mean spirited like this. You guys go ahead and weigh in. Obviously, this upset me. And I do believe that women deserve a safer space than this type of relationship. And it's no wonder women are opting out, especially as we talk about these types of things. Because if you're not safe in your own home, what is even the purpose then? All right, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And for a little levity, I found this meme. All right, so this says, being single in your 30s. You see, she got her dog. She looks refreshed, all of that. She has a nice purse. And then being single in your 30s, according to society, got a plaque up there or some kind of award that says failure. She got her yarn. She got her cats, because for whatever reason, these people think that being 30 means that you're almost dead. And I have no idea how we got to this point, because being 30 is not that old, but they really want to act like you become a cat lady at 30. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I needed to add something to just give you guys a little chuckle. If you made it this far, thanks. And let me know what you think of this meme. Join the conversation, like, comment, share. If you made it this far and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the follow button.